Connect with us on Facebook at Crawford Partnership to End Substance Misuse to learn more.
Godsmack Unplugged. Saturday, April 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Vibes Tour, celebrating 25 years of their debut album. Tickets start at $69 and are on sale now at the box office and online at etix.com. Godsmack. Raw, real, and untold stories. Saturday, April 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
There's nothing worse than discovering water has flooded your home. JP Heating to the rescue. Call JP Heating in Gaylord at 989-732-7571. Has the water heater failed? Do you have a hidden leak? No matter the issue, JP Heating can make repairs fast. Faucets, water heaters, leaking or frozen pipes, and so much more. JP Heating does it all. Visit jpheating.com or call 989-732-7571.
Otsego County Sportsplex is your best place for recreation and fitness in northern Michigan. With the beautiful swimming pool, incredible hockey rink, and many classes like karate, yoga, and spinning, Otsego County Sportsplex has activities for all. Reserve the pickleball court or just come by and walk the track. For classes and lessons, space is limited, so call 989-731-3546 today. That's 989-731-3546 or visit ocsportsplex.com.
It's time for the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show on Up North Sports Radio with your host, Rich Calkins.
Coyne in the studio here at Up North Sports Radio. Rich Calkins is not feeling well today, so I'll be manning the show by myself. We've got some interviews with some coaches. Not a lot of scores to update, as just about everything that I know was canceled yesterday. We have Coach Ryan Benzenberg on the phone with us from Cadillac. Coach, you were lucky enough to play on Thursday, right?
Yeah, we did. We had a BNC opponent, Gaylord, at our place on Thursday, so we did not lose a Friday game. However, we were originally scheduled to have to go down to DeWitt today to play, and that was canceled, so we're a little bummed out about that. But we did get our Thursday game in.
Yeah, I know you were looking forward to playing that out-of-conference game, but, we've been having this discussion for the last couple of weeks about how spread out the basketball schedule has become now. It was traditionally you played on Tuesdays and Fridays, and now you play, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It seems like you got basketball games going on. I know there's a lack of officiating available, and that's part of the reason why. And then you throw all these cancellations in, and it's a real mess.
Yeah, obviously losing the DeWitt game hurts for us, but I think about just our girls program. They lost both of their games this week, and trying to find a date to replay them is just going to be really hard, one of which is a conference game, right. So that makes it even tougher because they got to get played. And we tried to get ahead of it as soon as we figured out DeWitt was getting canceled. We did an email blast across the state with like 7 or 8 dates ranging from Monday through Saturday, where we had a hole in the schedule, seeing if there's anyone else that had a date that might match up, hoping we can at least get it rescheduled to get our 22nd game. And so it's a tough deal, and I know everyone now with this weather is going to be scrambling to try to replace games as best they can.
Yeah, like I said, we were on doing our Sportscape show with James Cook from the Record Eagle, and he was getting cancellations at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think anybody played yesterday, and probably not too many people. They might have had the hockey tournament go on at Center Ice, but that's about the only thing that I can think of got done. Tell us a little bit about the game on Thursday.
Yeah, so we had Gaylord coming out. We played actually a really good McBain team on Monday and got out of there with the win, and that was a bloodbath. Both teams played super physical. So coming into Thursday, kind of a short work week because we didn't practice Tuesday because of the snow day.
Right.
And so coming into Gaylord, they've had a couple of nice wins. Obviously, they have a really nice player in the Gilo kid. So we were buttoned up, ready to go. We kind of punched them early, but they hung around. We were able to get out of there with the win, and we were excited, because we're at home and we take some pride in playing in our whites, and also, that finished up the first half of the Big North season, the Big North schedule for us. So we got to 5-0 in the Big North, and that kind of sets us up for the sprint of the last couple months of the season. But overall we played well defensively. Didn't love the way we played in the fourth quarter. I think the game ended up being 12. It wasn't that close most of the game, but giving up 47 points is not something that we typically are thrilled with. We try to be 40 or under. So some stuff to button up there, but a lot of that was the Gilo kid. He had a great game shooting it, and I think he finished with 36, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Yeah, I know they're pretty much a one-man show there. What do you think of him? I know he's a shooter, so if the shots aren't falling, it can be problematic for them. But when he gets hot, obviously he can be a wagon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's very skilled on the offensive end. It's interesting for us because a couple of my guys have played some AAU ball with him, so they're pretty good friends. Their families are good friends, so it was fun. And actually, Gavin Gates and Charlie Howell, my two go-to defenders on the wing, both guarded him a little bit. And then towards the end, he had a really big fourth quarter, and we had some other guys checking him. But overall, I mean, he's a special talent offensively. There's no doubt about it. And I'm assuming he'll get a shot to play at the next level. I don't know exactly where that's going to be yet, but he works hard at it, and I know he's a gamer, so I'm looking forward to following him over the next 4 years.
Yeah, no, I've been hearing rumblings out of, he would like to play, D1. I don't know. I've heard some MAC schools are looking at him, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. The same thing with Anthony Reibel. I've heard that he wants to play D1, and that's a big step up in class.
Yeah, the physicality of playing at that level is something that I'm not going to say kids up here don't know about, but it's a different ball game, and quite frankly, I think Anthony's probably a little bit more prepared to go through that grind. I'd like to see Luke do it on both ends of the floor a little bit more.
Yeah.
For me to believe that he can play at that level, but I think he's got the skill to help a team, at NAIA D3 and maybe a D2 level, but getting to D1, that's a whole different ballgame, and it's hard for me to fathom not just those two, but you don't see those kids running around often in Northern Michigan.
No, no, you don't. Agreed. And the whole landscape's changed over the last 10 years, too. I mean, to play at that level is with so many kids playing the game now is just it takes a lot of different skill sets. You can't just be a shooter.
You take that into account, and you also take into account the transfer portal, NIL. We've talked to a bunch in the last couple of years. Talked to a bunch of D2 schools, and even at the D2 level, they're very, very cautious about giving scholarships or giving money to incoming freshmen just because they have to have some money available in case a transfer becomes available. So the landscape has definitely changed, and it's honestly hurt high school seniors as far as the recruiting process goes, in my estimation.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't know if there's that many people transferring around in D2.
Well, I think it's a lot of the kids that go D1 and decide it's not for them, they're not good enough, so they need to, get back to a D2 school. And those D2 schools are, they recruited those kids hard. Those fringe D1 kids, they're recruiting them hard anyway, hoping they can sneak them into D2.
Right.
Then they leave for a year and decide, you know what? They come to the realization maybe D1 is not where I want to be. So those D2 schools keep scholarships open for those type of kids.
Yeah, I actually didn't think about that. That makes a ton of sense. It's one thing to be on the bench or a practice player in D1, and you're like, well, if I'm going to go to school and do all this, I better get on the floor.
Yeah, I think every situation is probably a little bit different. Some kids are looking to get an education and come out with no debt. Some kids are looking to have an experience and play. Some kids are looking to be part of it. And I think it's a one-on-one. Every situation is a little bit different. I look at my guy, Charlie Howell.
Right.
He's a senior, 6'6", averaging 20 and 10, just under 10 rebounds. But he decided he wants to make a run at D2. He's not necessarily getting a ton of love there. But he's also applied to Michigan and Notre Dame. And, if he gets into either of those schools, he's probably going to make a really mature decision and go to school. And that's okay, too, and become a really, really successful in whatever career path he chooses. So I think every situation is different. Every kid probably uses sport a little bit different for whatever they need in their particular life.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Charlie, so thanks for offering that. And you never know what's going to happen as you get later on in the year, especially your team is primed to make a run in the tournament, although, you guys are in a new division now, which is going to be battle-tested to get, I think you have a pretty legit shot to get through districts, but regional and everything else is going to be a whole nother animal.
Yeah, it will be. And we've been a big fish in a small pond for many years. We flirted with the D1, D2 line for quite a while.
Yeah.
And, this year we fell on the D1 side of things, and that's okay. We're gonna battle our butt off, and we have some kids that have, I don't want to say a chip, but a lot of people say now they Cadillacs made the jump to D1. Don't look for them to have the success that we've had the last handful of years in the postseason. So our kids hear that and know that, and I think we're going to do our damnedest to make as deep a run as we can. But going back to Charlie a little bit, he's a kid, in my opinion, and again, I'm going to have a little bit of bias there, but,
sure.
Go in there for 2 years, put some weight on, watch, learn what it's all about, and, be able to contribute your junior and senior year and have a really good 2-year stint. I think that's where he's living. But in any level of collegiate sports nowadays, it's a win-now thing, and guys' jobs are on the line, so they're looking for impact players that can come in and contribute right away. And, lots of up-north kids coming into their freshman year in college need to put on some weight, need to learn the speed of the game and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see. Charlie's put together a pretty darn good season so far. We're not quite halfway there, so hopefully he can turn the eye of a Division II school somewhere, and maybe that will give him a shot.
No, he's a very fine two-way player. You're right. I mean, you always put on weight. Very few collegiate bodies laying around in high school. I mean, I played at right at 170 in high school at 6'6". I mean, that's. Yeah,
that's not heard of much nowadays, sir.
No, I know.
I can tell you that.
I mean, what does Charlie weigh?
He's about 185 right now, okay. 182, something like that. And I mean, the kid eats like a horse and lifts like crazy, and
you can't
hard putting weight on.
I know.
Some kids can have a hard time putting weight on.
Yeah, you can tell. I go back to a long way. Chris Webber had an NBA body in high school. You just don't see a lot of that. You see some football kids that can play. Who's the kid from Traverse City Central? Has got a kid that's got a collegiate body already, a real tough rebounder. His name escapes me right now, but yeah, I mean, most of the kids that you see running around on the floor look like high school kids. Yeah.
I go back to a couple of years ago when TC Central had Josh Burnham running around on the basketball floor, who's playing football at Notre Dame now.
Yeah.
Like, you shook that kid's hand in the pregame starting lineups, and you're like, this is a grown man right now as a junior in high school. So they look different. You can tell if you've been around sport for a while.
Yep.
I think the key for, the small D1s and the D2 schools is finding kids that will translate to that in 2 years. And that's where recruiting and getting to know kids is really, really hard, because you got to predict where they're going to go, not necessarily where they're at coming in their freshman year.
How much do you have to do with, I mean, I'm sure you'll make phone calls for Charlie if he wants, because that coaching fraternity, whether it's high school or college, you guys are at the same clinics and that kind of thing. So what would you say your network in collegiate coaching ranks is?
We've been fortunate enough to have some kids over the last handful of years that have had some opportunity to play. And for me, like, I sat down with Charlie and his family a year ago, coming into his, over a year ago. What are you thinking? Where do you want to go? What are some schools? What do you want to do when you grow up? And then we kind of targeted some schools that might offer that kind of program and what kind of level we wanted to play at. And then I'd reach out to those those schools and those coaches and just introduce. Most of them had known who Charlie was, so I'd give them some film. And he went down to Trine a couple of weeks ago, a D3 school down in Indiana. And they called and wanted to get a little information about, like, tell me about his family, tell me about how he was in the classroom, stuff like that. So I'm an advocate for our players.
Sure.
The one thing, I don't think all coaches do, but I make it a point to do that is I'm honest with the coaches. I'm not going to try to, upsell a kid. If I don't, I'm going to be honest and not try to hide anything and leave it up to the college coaches whether they want to take a shot on somebody or not. But, I just had a couple of junior college coaches just this week call me, ask if are they missing anyone in Northern Michigan who they should be looking at. So not necessarily just in Cadillac. So
right.
Trying to build some relationships, and you never know at some point down the road if a college coach can help get a kid placed, not even if it's in my program. I want to see all kids in Northern Michigan succeed. So anytime we can help someone out, we do our best to do so.
From your point of view, Coach Ryan Benzenberger from Cadillac, Coach, what do you think is the difference for an athlete, specifically in basketball, between going to like a D3 school or JUCO?
It's interesting you say that. I don't know if you know, but the junior college up in Petoskey started a program a couple of years ago. I think this is their second year, and I developed a pretty good relationship with their coach. And junior college, the talent is always really, really good, and a lot of times, those kids just need a year academically to get their stuff together and figure out time management and stuff like that. But you watch like an NAIA game or a D3 school, those kids can play, man. And I think the stigma that is out there that everyone's like, I'm better than D3. Like, go watch a game. Like, get your butt in the stands and watch a game and see how skilled and how physical and how defined those kids are. You look at the kid at Spring Arbor, the big center, Gabe, I forget his last name. He's leading the country in scoring. The guy is a monster, and there's zero doubt in my mind that's an NAIA D2 school. He could be killing it at the division. That's an NAIA D2. He could be killing it at the NCAA Division II level without a problem, but he found a system that fit for him, and I just think kids get so attached to the stigma of going lower than D1 that they often don't get themselves to the best spot.
Yeah, I mean, that whole landscape has changed since I played collegiate ball. I mean, that's just, decades and decades ago. I remember when my son had a really good senior year at Seaholm High School, and the coach at Spring Arbor took a look at him, and I went to one of their practices, and even then, that was in 2006, those kids can play. And I went and saw the Kirtland Community College team play. They get up and down the floor, man. I mean, kids can play anywhere. The level of talent, it never ceases to impress me.
No, and I think every year as time goes on, the level is getting higher and higher because it's becoming a year-round sport.
Right.
You're seeing more kids specialize, and I'm not for specialization in sports. I want kids to play all sports.
Agreed.
Very rarely will you speak to a college coach that doesn't want kids to play multiple sports, but you're seeing kids like I took my kid to a 3-on-3 tournament up in Traverse City over the Christmas break. My two kids just to play. And there's fourth grade travel teams in Traverse City. Like, you think about that, and that was never the case when I was growing up. Yeah. And the landscape has changed so much, and it's gotten so competitive that to give yourself a fighting chance, you have to really be married to whatever sport it is you're trying to be really good at.
Well, it was always tough to do. I just dropped out of football my junior year, and then there was just like the 5-star camps. There wasn't a lot of things that were going on. It's a completely different landscape now with the travel teams, and it's tough to play multiple sports and get to all those camps and do the things that you really need to do to flash on people's radar.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I don't want to cut you off, but we had a kid a couple years ago who was getting some looks at low-level schools, but he was an all-state track runner. He was an all-state basketball player. He's an all-state football player. And at some point, you can't continue to give 33.3% of your love to each of those and expect to get to an apex in any of them.
No, you're right.
So you have to sort of start to prioritize, and kids struggle to do that, no doubt about it.
Well, it's time. And especially here in Northern Michigan, it's travel. You've got to get down. I mean, how many people from mid-Michigan or Northern Michigan are going to St. Cecilia? That's where we earned our bread and butter. That's as a kid growing up, and that's still. I mean, they've resurrected that whole program, and and kids are there's assistant coaches from colleges all across the Midwest that just live there in the summer.
For us, for our kids up here, there's a group of kids that get from northern Michigan. They get together, the higher tier kids. They're driving an hour and a half one way to get a good run against quality opponents in the summer to get good runs. So it is different. There's no doubt about it up here.
Coach, looking forward to the next couple of weeks. Who do you have on the schedule, and what's your prognosis?
Yeah, so we have Big Rapids Tuesday. They're obviously off to another good start. Kent does a great job with that team. Congratulations on him being inducted into the BCAM Hall of Fame this past year.
Yep.
So they'll give us everything we want. We'll go down and see them on Tuesday, and then we bring Traverse City Central to our place on Friday, and the first game of the second half of the Big North. Obviously, that's a different team now with Anthony back playing. We're super happy he's healthy, not only for him but for Northern Michigan.
Yeah. What did he they went off the other day. What did they have, 90
Yeah,
points?
They put up 92 against Alpena. I don't know I can't remember exactly how many he had, but they'll be a different basketball team the second half of the year with him. There's no doubt about it.
No, he didn't have, like, when I first heard that score, I mean, he must have had 40. He didn't. I think he just had 25, like everybody. His younger brother is starting to play some pretty decent basketball.
It's interesting when you play teams and you're not the focal point of the other team's defensive prep because they have when his brother's getting the second or third best defender on the team, that makes things different.
Oh, God,
and
yes.
Having Anthony there will raise the level of all those kids. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I'm glad, just to finish this conversation up, going back to, like, collegiate people getting scouted and things like that. Charlie had a really good year last year. You guys lost a great player. I'm trying to remember his name now. And
Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden, yep.
So you go from being the second or third best player on a team in your junior year to being the focal point, and sometimes that crushes kids. You're thinking that this kid is going to take the step up in class because he's going from junior to senior year, and the team is going to depend on him more. But he just becomes the focal point of the defense, and you can't learn how to score when you have the best defender and help coming, getting double teamed all the time.
That's such a great point. And again, this is Ryan Benzenberg being biased, but I look at Charlie this year. He is now the best scorer we have on our team, not the second best, and he's still averaging 21 and 10. So he's now being the focal point of every team's defensive prep and still being able to get it done. So any D2 coaches listening out there, give us a call because I got a good one that I promise would be a great addition to your basketball program.
Yeah, no, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he knows the game. He's got good instincts, and there's some things that you just can't teach. That you want to have a kid that comes in the program and is going to buy in right away and do the right things on both sides of the ball.
Thanks for the kind words about him. I couldn't agree more, sir.
Yeah, no, I enjoy watching your team play, and I'm not downgrading the fact it's going to be a different animal. You know that, D1 to D2, and it's good that your kids are taking on the mantle of, okay, well, you're still going to have to play us. So let's figure that out.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
we're going to give every single team our best shot. There's no doubt about it.
Coach Ryan Benzenberg from the Cadillac Vikings, thanks for joining us here on the Bill Marsh High School Automotive Scoreboard Show. And, of course, we'll have you back in soon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate having me on. Get well soon, everybody, and we'll talk next week, I'm sure.
All right. Thank you. We will be back. We will be back after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio and the Bill Marsh High School Automotive Scoreboard Show.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh Custom Purchase Experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
You don't want to miss the Chronicles of Cuteness Precious Beginnings Gallery from the Traverse City Record Eagle. And we need your vote for the cutest baby. Vote for your favorite cute baby now through noon, February 8th. But be warned, they're all adorable. The two cutest baby contest winners will be announced in the Sunday edition of the Traverse City Record Eagle and on the Record Eagle page on Facebook, February 25th. Vote now at record-eagle.com/Chronicles of Cuteness.
Your furnace just kicked on, but it doesn't sound quite right. Then you finally admit what you've known for a while. That old furnace may not make it through another winter. JP Heating of Northern Michigan is your answer. They carry a full line of energy-efficient Daikin heating systems for reliable and long-lasting product performance. JP Heating of Northern Michigan, trusted Daikin systems, service second to none, competitive prices, and financing options. Located on Dickerson Road in Gaylord and online at jpheating.com.
Well, winter is here, and so are Mahindra's tough-to-beat deals. Get 0% interest for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on all Mahindra tractors. Not even winter could slow down Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Visit your Mahindra dealer at Zaremba Equipment in Gaylord or online at zarembaequipment.com or Pioneer Diesel in Traverse City or pioneerdiesel.com.
On all models for a limited time only, go to MahindraUSA.com for more information.
Welcome back to Up North Sports Radio on the Bill Marsh High School Automotive Scoreboard Show. Jerry Coyne is live with Coach Dale Jacobs from the Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Morning, Jerry. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us. Good season so far. You guys lost a lot of talent last year, but the drop-off hasn't been nearly as bad as what it appeared to be on paper.
Yeah, we've got a decent group of guys. They work hard. We're trying to be competitive. The league is a lot of parity in the league, a lot of good teams. So every night's a battle. It's been fun so far.
Yeah, the old Ski Valley. It's there's some real old school rivalries in that conference, and so every night you got to bring it.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, right now we're sitting at 6-3. We lost to Bel Air and Mansalona, and both those two are undefeated in the league. And we get to play them again, and they have to play each other. So we're still hoping we can battle and get back into the mix.
Yeah, Mansalona has been surprisingly good. It's good to see. They've been down for a while, but the program's really, really nice this year.
Yeah, they had a great. I watched the video of they won against Onaway. It was tie game. Onaway was inbounded on their sideline at their and with 5 seconds to go and threw it away, and Mansalona now scored a layup at the buzzer, which was, on the road. They got a win, so they're still undefeated.
Yeah, they beat Harbor Springs. That was a shocker, too. So, they've got a good season going. We haven't had a chance to have you on the air. Coach, tell us about the team this year.
Well, we've got really 3 returners from last year. Riley Metelsky is returning. He came off the bench for us last year. He's averaging about 20 a game, and
wow,
and really a great athlete, and really does a lot of stuff defensively, and he really gets to the rim. Then we got DJ Daniel Jacobson, Jr. He's a really good shooter. He's averaging about 20 a game. Hogan McKinley is a returner from last year. He actually been on varsity for 3 years now. And he came off a broken arm in football, and but he's had a great year for us, and he's definitely one of our main cogs to our team. And then Dylan Croft. He's a football, baseball guy, but does a lot of good things for us. Really, the stuff that really doesn't go in the scorebook.
Sure.
But he makes us better for sure. And then after that, we've got Lucas Shawinski. He's a big kid. He's getting better. We're getting some production out of him also. And Brett Kersoniak. Those are the kids that are playing the most. We've got got quite a few kids on the team. Everybody's helping in a different way. But it's, yeah, we're just trying to be competitive. And, you know, last year we lost a lot of talent.
Yeah, you did.
But you know, I think our program's going in the right direction. We got good participation. Our youth, our JP kids are doing well. So we'll just keep battling.
Coach, I know you were the girls' coach back. What is it? 2005, 2008, and then coached at Boyne City for a while, and back at St. Mary's now. So talk about your journey a touch.
Yeah, you know, I've been involved with it for a long time, 20-plus years, probably 25 years now. Just started coaching, coached all levels, girls, boys. And I did coach it, mostly at St. Mary. I coached 5 years with the girls, and then went over to Boyne Falls and with a good friend of mine, Tim Smith, who is actually the girls coach at East Jordan now. But
right,
I met him at St. Mary's when he coached back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they won a couple regionals there.
Yeah.
So I think going over there, it really helped me as a coach, you know, get behind somebody with that kind of experience. And we had a lot of success over at Boyne Falls those years. Some good players, and so you know, I came back to St. Mary's. This is my 6th year now, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a great school. You know, as you know, my son Joe went through the program there, and you're talking about the kids on the team. Everybody plays everything, right? Everybody, St. Mary's kids are playing everything, and not only are they playing everything, they're in the drama classes or band or anything else. It is the busiest group of kids you're ever going to see in your entire life, and it's amazing how well they perform doing all these different things.
Yeah, that is. My daughters all played multiple sports and were involved in other activities and stuff. I think if it doesn't teach you anything else, it teaches how to manage time and prioritize. So, but yeah, it's a good school, and I think it's a good environment right now. It appears to be going in the right direction. Our enrollment's going in the right direction. And,
it's good.
So no, it's good.
And unfortunately, your biggest rival, Joburg, that game got snowed out. Are you going to be able to reschedule that, you think?
Yeah, it's in the works. We're gonna. It works out pretty good. We play I Lakes Tuesday at I Lakes, and then we're gonna play Joburg. The makeup game will be Thursday, so that'll be 2 games. We were scheduled for 3 games this week. Went over and played Hillman on Monday, and lost a tough game. We were up at half, and we had a shot to win at the end, but a pretty decent team, and we played well. So I wasn't disappointed with that on the road. And then we beat Central Lake in a close game Wednesday. But yeah, so we'll be playing Joburg next Thursday.
Since I haven't had a chance to see you guys play, tell us a little bit about your style. Is it similar to the way the girls play? You know, a lot of run and gun, pressing, and outside shooting, or is the style a little different for the boys?
You know, last year I could have said we were more like the girls in the way we were playing the pace we were playing. This year, I don't think it benefits us to play at that pace, so we're playing more old school, if you will, trying possessions and, you know, just really be efficient with our with our style of play and make teams score against our half-court defense. And I think we've done a pretty good job with our half-court defense. We had a little. We've got to get better at not turning the ball over, and I think we are on the right direction there. Yeah, it would be the opposite of the way the girls play.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know. I mean, it's a great girls program at St. Mary's, just traditional.
Absolutely.
You know, bing, bang, boom.
Yeah,
always. Yep. But.
Yeah.
No, but you know, a good coach has to adapt to their talent. I mean, are you guys playing mostly zone in the half court defense?
Yeah, we're playing we're playing a lot more zone this year. We didn't play any zone last year.
No.
It is, I think, key when your enrollment's around 70 kids in the high school. You've got to you do have to adjust what your strengths are. I've went back and forth. I wish I had the ability to just say we're going to do this and this is what our program does, but I just haven't found that to be the case. And
right.
We've been able to move it around a little bit and have success doing that. I got Gary Metelsky helps me out. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's like another head coach. The kids respect him, and so he brings a lot to the table. So we're just between him and I, we work together to try to figure out what we got to do to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you do to win games, and if you've got some big physical kids that can clog up the lane a little bit and keep the team outside shooting where they're not as comfortable, and compress the clock, there's a lot of different ways to win at basketball.
Yes, and I think no matter what you do, you just got to be what you do, right? And we're I think our defense has been solid this year. We've got to get better in the transition game, mostly on offense, and we still like to push the ball when we get opportunities. But yeah, we've got some good shooters. I've got Lucas Lewinsky, 6'5". He's playing pretty good. He scored 16 against Tillman the other night. He's a pretty good player. He's a junior, so a lot of upside there, and we'll have him back next year along with DJ and Hogan. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah. Well, Dale Jacobs from the Gaylord St. Mary Snowbirds boys team. Great to finally get you on the air and talk about the team, and we'll continue to watch your progress. Who's in your district this year?
The district will be it'll be us, Central Lake, Bel Air, Boyne Falls will probably be the four teams in it, and Bel Air might be the best team in the league right now. They're undefeated. They're certainly one of the best teams in the league. But Central Lake, there's a rivalry there, and they've got a couple 1,000-point scores on their team. Central Lake does, seniors.
Wow.
And they beat Bel Air twice last year, so you just never know in them rivalry games like that.
Who's hosting the district?
We are. Yeah.
Well,
so
that helps.
I haven't thought about that much, but I do know we're hosting the district. So that's good.
It certainly helps at least a little, especially when you get that St. Mary's gym packed. You could make a little noise in there.
It does get loud for sure in that little shoebox we have.
It is a shoebox. It's a little bigger than the weight room, but not much.
Right.
Dale Jacobs from Gaylord St. Mary's, thanks for joining us on the Bill Marsh High School Automotive Scoreboard Show. Good luck to the Snowbirds.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right. We'll be back after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio and the Bill Marsh High School Automotive Scoreboard Show.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh custom purchase experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
We played for the thrill, that rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver. Now, with Eagle Casino and Sports, the new sportsbook app from Soaring Eagle, anywhere I'm at, I'm still in the game.
Sign up now and get up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog, parlay, or prop.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
As winter beckons, returning to Benetham's is like returning home for the holidays. Everything on Benetham's menu is made with the freshest ingredients. Check out their daily appetizer and dinner special. Visit Benethams.com and make your reservation. Benetham's, for the true love of food.
Adverse childhood experiences, also known as ACEs, are experiences in childhood that can have a lasting impact on our lives, influencing how we face challenges, connect with others, and even our health. Understanding the impact of ACEs is an important part of the growth and healing process. Join us in discovering the key to building stronger individuals and a more connected community. Learn more about how we can support one another. Connect with us on Facebook at Crawford Partnership to End Substance Misuse to learn more.
Welcome back to Up North Sports Radio on the Bill Marsh Automotive High School Scoreboard Show. Jerry Coyne is live on the phone with Coach Sean Finnegan from Traverse City St. Francis. Coach, thanks for taking the time to join me today. My partner is ill, and we didn't have any games played last night, so feel free to talk about your team.
Not surprising with this weather we're getting that you don't have any scores locally to talk about. But, I think last time we talked, we were just a game or two in. Nothing's changed on our end as far as what we kind of thought. We're still a work in progress and, just trying to gain more experience with the big group here and putting different pieces on the floor just to see who fits best together, so still kind of figuring out the group and learning what our goals are a little bit. Lost a tough one at home against Charlevoix the other night.
Yeah.
Did not execute defensively how we would have wanted to, and unfortunately, credit to them, they shot really well, and they're a good scoring team, and we helped them by putting them in or allowing them to get in positions to be more successful as well. So that, something we got to work on. But I think that's kind of how the league's going to go this year. It's going to be a dogfight, and the team that wins it might have a couple losses in the league. So it's not surprising to see a lot of close scores across the board. And, my goal with the team was that we really have to take care of home, that some of those road games are going to be tough in the league, and dropping one at home, that's tough.
No, I was going to say I know you take a lot of pride in defending the home court, and it's always been a tough place to win at Traverse City St. Francis. What you guys were canceled on Friday? You were supposed to visit Boyne City, is that right?
We were going to host Boyne, and I think they looked at the weather and the idea of driving back in that after the game, not as much of getting to the game, but the ride home. And, obviously it proved that it would have been a dicey night, and, most schools, I think, followed suit. But, we rescheduled that. So next week we'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, our third back to back this year so far. We'll host Harbor Springs on Tuesday and then host Boyne City on Wednesday.
Well, that's a tough. Those are two tough teams to take on. Like you said, the conference is really bunched up.
Yeah. Everybody seems to have different, for the most part, kind of different looking groups than they had last year. Everyone kind of lost at least a couple, if not a handful of guys from last year, and we got some new faces, or, in Charlevoix and Harbor's case, some young faces that are now another year under their belt. And you're starting to, like with Harbor Springs, for example, we've got, Flynn and Bartell up there who have both scored over 30 on their own in a night, and they're both only sophomores. So, they're a dangerous group, just like Charlevoix. They can score, they can shoot the three well. So, we're going to have to show up defensively and then not shoot ourselves in the foot and take care of the ball.
Yeah.
On the other end,
that's going to be, we talked about this when we had you on at the very beginning of the year, and you got a lot of kids that haven't played a lot. They're starting to play now, and until you figure out who you can count on offensively, especially at the end of games, you got to tighten up the defense.
Yep. Yeah. We tell every group we have ever had this, defense travels.
Yep.
And there's going to be some nights where you just can't throw the ball in the ocean from a boat, but if you defend, you give yourself a chance. So, that's kind of our staple is the defensive end. So, pulling some hair out some nights watching film, seeing how we're not executing some of our rotations how we should be. But, that's part of the learning curve. And I still really believe in this group and think we've got a lot of good pieces. We're just, we're still working at it. So we'll confident that we'll get there.
Well, it's kind of it can get to a point where it's like small picture, big picture, right? Maybe we won't have the most successful season we possibly can. You definitely want to win every game because winning, but you can learn things in losses that you sometimes never figure out in a win.
Yeah, that was, and I'm hoping that reigns exactly true. It's kind of spot on to our overtime loss down at Big Rapids, a game that, we controlled that game from start to finish until, the very end. And we kind of had some issues down in Grand Haven against Western Michigan Christian and when we were at Elk Rapids closing those games out. But both of those games we won still.
Uh-huh.
So, you can preach the idea of what we have to do better at the end, not turn it over, close it, put a team away when you have the game won, all that stuff. But you still sneak out with the win. The kids don't probably take it quite as serious, So to kind of give one away, so to speak, at Big Rapids where, and credit to them, they're a good team and they never folded, but, we really felt like we were in the driver's seat there and then to lose it how we did with some just mental mistakes defensively, just lack of execution right out of timeouts. I mean, things that we need to get better at. And by losing, I think, to your point, it rings a lot truer, and the boys remember that a heck of a lot more than they do if you sneak out with the win.
That's one really difficult thing that I've always witnessed, either as a player, decades ago, and still today. When you have a really young team, try to execute a great inbound play. I don't care how many times you do it in practice. It's hard to get it the way you want it to go in a game, especially in a late situation.
Yeah, that game gave us kind of a reminder that we need to spend more time probably working on end of game situations in practice. But again, to your point, you can't simulate the game without the game. So that pressure, the mental side of it, you can't make that happen in practice. So there's only so much going through those situations that truly, again, connect. So you just hope you do it enough. And, my thing is, last year we had the great group, but we really never had close games. We either won fairly easily or the games we lost, it didn't really come down to that last possession until we played Cadillac and it went to overtime. And I remember thinking after that game, like, man, we really haven't had these situations all year, where, you get a little rusty, as a coach, as a player, if you haven't been put in the situation and it's been 6 months since you've had a end of game scenario to think about and to play through, it's, it can be tough. So, Coach Shuba and I were talking after the game about, at that Big Rapids game, how, this is going to be a year we're probably going to get more of those opportunities for growth because, just the different team we have. And I just foresee a lot of good finishing games where it's going to come down to some plays at the end. And, I think long term that'll help us more than it hurts us.
Yeah, and right now with a younger team, you probably don't have an experienced closer. It's always nice to have somebody that is not going to turn the ball over, is going to get a good shot, or going to find a really good shot for one of his teammates. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we have Max Ogden kind of working into that role. He's been scoring a lot for us, but at the same time, he's new to the system, so him, learning how we want to do things at the end, as well as how his teammates are going to handle things. It's just there's still some chemistry with this group. We've got a couple guys that were up last year as sophomores, so Harrison Shepard and Isaiah Millward. Although they're both juniors, they haven't played with that junior class since 8th grade. So we just got pieces that, haven't been on the floor much together either. So you get to end a game and, you expect your teammate to do this, and every little thing now matters, and you throw it, and they went the other way. I mean, you see it in a lot of sports. You know, it's that chemistry makes a big difference, and you know that's just something you got to learn through doing. So we're trying to put them in those situations as much as we can, and hopefully grow from it each time.
Well, I know you're with your record and how you've been able to be so successful at St. Francis. That's probably going to peak at the right time as you just get ready to start the districts. Coach, who's in your district and who's hosting?
So our district this year, as usual, is going to be a gauntlet for whoever gets out of it. It's at Benzie Central this year.
Oh, God.
Really good. It'll be Benzie, ourselves. McBain is in our district this year, which is a first.
Yeah.
And then Manton and Lake City. So kind of an odd district. It's like two different districts that got put together.
Hey, Lake City's having a really good year. Benzie's really good this year. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Who's hosting?
That'll be at Benzie.
Okay.
So, you know, going into their place, and you know, and McBain's obviously, I think, one of the better teams in Northern Michigan this year, and they've got a ton of size.
Yeah, they do.
It's going to be a dogfight come March. I know that.
Yeah, that'll be almost as good a ticket as your showcase.
Yeah, almost. I like that.
Yeah, tell our folks, we had you on before, but go ahead and talk about the showcase for all the gym rats that are listening.
Yeah, so February 10th will be the second annual Northern Michigan Showcase. We're doing 4 games this year, a good mixture of Northern Michigan and some Southern teams. Our first game starts at 2 o'clock. It is Hamtramck, a Division I school out of the Detroit area, as I'm sure you're familiar with.
I've heard of them.
Playing against McBain, which I think is going to be a great game. 2 completely different styles. McBain slows it down, moves the ball, runs their flex, and gets the shots they want. Hamtramck likes to get out and run. And it'll be an interesting first game there for sure. Game 2 features Cadillac, who obviously having a great year so far, as we thought they would. And they'll square off with Wayne Memorial, who was up last year, and their best players were freshmen. And they were at our place this summer. I can tell you that sophomore point guard of theirs is the real deal. He's getting Division I looks, and he's a tough player. So that'll also be 2 kind of different style teams squaring off. That one will be at 3:45, and then we've got I think it's a 5:30 tip for the third game, which will be Traverse City Central and Detroit Cas Tech. So familiar with both of those, obviously, from last year, as well as Central being a local team and getting healthy finally. So I'm thinking, hoping they'll be playing better basketball by that time. They've been dealing with some big injuries. So and then ourselves closing it out at 7:15 against Glen Lake, which the local rivalry is something we like to play, and knowing. When we heard that they dropped to Division IV this year, we knew we wouldn't see them in the district. So having that chance to have that, that kind of reinstill that local rivalry here, I think will be a good finale to it all.
No, you've done a good job. It's great. I'm glad Cas Tech decided to come back up again. Ribel is definitely rounding into shape. You saw him play his second game back against West, and he looked really good in the third and fourth quarter. So, he's a special kid, and hopefully he can stay healthy because, without him, Cas Tech is not it's certainly going to be a better game if Anthony's healthy.
Yeah, he definitely, makes it interesting and creates a matchup issue for Cas Tech. As many athletes as they have, he's got good length at the guard position and can score from anywhere. So that should be fun.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've added. I mean, Cas Tech doesn't have a ton of size. I mean, obviously great athletes. They can shoot it. They can really press you, but not a lot of bigger kids. I think they're big 6'6" probably. So
yeah, they they're kind of that run and gun, trap you, speed you up team, like you said, and if as we tried our best to do last year, if you can take care of the ball and take the air out of it a little bit, you give yourself a chance. So
it was a good game.
You don't want to get into a track meet with a team like that.
No, you guys played really good defense and slowed the pace down. It was a really good basketball game. So, that's February 10th, folks. It was a great atmosphere. There was a lot of guys I hadn't seen in a long time. Every gym rat that I know in Northern Michigan was at that showcase at one point or another, Coach. So congratulations on pulling it off again.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And one final thing about it, $10 gets you in for the whole day.
Yep.
And we're planning to have a few different food options other than just pizza this year. So you won't even have to leave for dinner.
I was going to say you better do that because you can only eat 6 slices of pizza. You got to get some. I don't know what else you're going to bring in there. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna shoot for maybe a little Jimmy John's, maybe a little Chick-fil-A, and have a couple options, or a food truck out in the yard. We're working on some different details here that trying to keep people there.
Yeah.
No excuse to have to leave then.
Absolutely, Coach Sean Finnegan from Traverse City St. Francis. Thanks for joining us here on Up North Sports Radio.
Hey, Jerry, I appreciate it.
No worries. We'll see you soon, Coach.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio's Bill March Automotive High School Scoreboard Show.
You don't want to miss the Chronicles of Cuteness Precious Beginnings Gallery from the Traverse City Record Eagle. And we need your vote for the cutest baby. Vote for your favorite cute baby now through noon, February 8th. But be warned, they're all adorable. The 2 cutest baby contest winners will be announced in the Sunday edition of the Traverse City Record Eagle and on the Record Eagle page on Facebook, February 25th. Vote now at record-eagle.com/Chronicles of Cuteness.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh Custom Purchase Experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh, welcome to easy. And thank you.
Otsego County Sportsplex is your best place for recreation and fitness in Northern Michigan. With the beautiful swimming pool, incredible hockey rink, and many classes like karate, yoga, and spinning, Otsego County Sportsplex has activities for all. Reserve the pickleball court or just come by and walk the track. For classes and lessons, space is limited, so call 989-731-3546 today. That's 989-731-3546 or visit ocsportsplex.com.
As winter beckons, the cozy warmth of Benetham's kitchen lights up like returning home for the holidays. Everything on Benetham's menu is made with the freshest ingredients, and the quality is in every bite. Additionally, there is always a daily appetizer and dinner special in case you want to see what the chef is sampling. The famous Benetham's Happy Hour is the best way to catch up with friends. Visit Benethams.com and make your reservation. Benetham's, for the true love of food.
This has been the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show, presented by Bill Marsh Automotive. Discover how easy car shopping can be. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. with host Rich Calkins. Nobody loves high school sports like Up North Sports Radio.
100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just text APPLY NOW to 88909 right now to get started. That's APPLY NOW to 88909. Auto financing the easy way. Text